Maybe everything's fine.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I have slept, I've reflected, and is everything okay? Is these teething errors of the early dawn of Pochettino's Chelsea to be expected, considering where we're coming from, considering what's happening? Yes, a 3-1 loss to David Moyes' West Ham is always going to really hurt you deep inside, like your soul, you know? It's going to grind you down. But maybe it's to be expected. We're going to reflect today on an article from Simon Johnson of The Athletic, published early this morning, seeing what he's saying. And then we can talk about what we think. Of course, Fabrizio Romano has spoken about Chelsea are still in for an attacker. There's still Vlahovic, the spectre of Vlahovic floating around, which I don't really think it's fair to blame Nico Jackson on for anything. I mean, maybe it's time I take him out of my fantasy team. 2 games, no goal involvement, but he looks like a good profile of striker, you know? Anyway, strap yourselves in. We're going to get some insights today on the situation at Chelsea, so I hope you are comfortable. Do consider liking and subscribing. Let's jump on into it, baby girl. Right then, let's read Simon Johnson of The Athletic writes, with 7 minutes remaining of Chelsea's second Premier League game of the season, head coach Mauricio Pochettino sent on academy striker Mason Burstow to try and save his side a point at West Ham. It did not work. Yeah, it's important to note, the last few minutes, we played 5 attackers, a front 3, 2 strikers with Sterling in the number 10, and 2 wingers. It was a, oh my god, I'm panicking, just throw everything on moment. This is not a damning indictment of Burstow of himself. The teenager signed from Charlton Athletic in January last year has made good progress at under 21 level and scored a late equaliser for the senior side, of course, against Dortmund, which is like a feel-good moment in the pre-season. You might wonder, though, if this was Pochettino's way of sending a message to the hierarchy that he needs more firepower to get better results. Yeah, well, you saw Badad Eghbali sitting in front of co-sporting directors Stuart and Winstanley in the crowd in the director's box at West Ham. Yes. By the way, Badad Eghbali apparently back into more of an important role in negotiations again, in selling as well as buying players. Apparently he's the more assertive one rather than Todd Bowley, which would make sense because he represents the money. Here comes the money, with being the Clear Lake Capital guy. It's certainly a rather remarkable position for Chelsea to find themselves in, after spending hundreds of millions in the transfer market since Todd Bowley Clear Lake Consortium took over 15 months ago. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to navigate. So, like, your mates who support football, different teams. Yeah, what's going on with your mob there, mate? What's going on with Chelsea? Well, I tell you, mate, the problem is we need to spend a little bit more money. That's a hard sell, you know? Really is. And again, well, most of you guys know me. You know that I subscribe to the concept of Chelsea's current scenario is a long time coming. It's multiple chickens coming home to roost. And these chickens have been away for a while, and there's a lot of them. Chelsea have not had much fortune. One of their most important attacking signings, Christopher Nkunku, has effectively been ruled out for the rest of the year. Of course, the knee injury gone pre-season. Kani Chukwuemeka, who impressed in the first half of West Ham, being essentially the deputy number 10 to Christopher Nkunku in his absence, and looked like he was the first choice number 10 in the absence of Nkunku. Of course, he came off with a knee problem, and it looked really, really bad. Dude couldn't even stand up. And his goal, again, chef's kiss. Bellissimo. It was beautiful. It was a wonderful goal. It was the nicest goal of the bunch in that game. I know we only scored 1, but hot dog, it was good. Chelsea have had 3 points, should have had 3 points secured by then with Enzo. Yeah, of course, Enzo Fernandez missed a penalty. We've had other chances wasted. We're not just talking about shots on goal here, but final third passes or crosses were not executed well enough. Yes, we had, I believe, was it Pochettino in his post-match press conference saying, when you look at the data, we had 50 entries. 50 entries into their area. Now, if that's true, if I heard that right, it sounds like a lot. he was certainly talking about it from a data knowledge, saying, yeah, look, this is a lot. It's kind of like what Tuchel used to say about the high turnover. It was like, yeah, we're like dancing around their box, man, and we're getting into their box. It's not even like we're passing around it. We're getting in there, and then we're just all panicking. Now that is echoes of Chelsea's past, or recent past. Anyone watching would have thought, same old Chelsea. In many ways, yeah, I certainly did think that. I certainly did. The basic statistics made grim reading. Here we go. Chelsea outshot their opponents 17-12 and enjoyed 76% of the possession. Yeah, over 75%. When you've got over 3/4 of possession, and you're away from home, you're in their own backyard, you got to do something. The scoreline is the most important metric of all. We lost 3-1, and the home side, when referee blew the final whistle. Raheem Sterling summed up his frustration in the Chelsea dressing room afterwards, telling Sky Sports, dominating a game at a ground like West Ham, you've got to take your chances. This is the Premier League, and it will come back to haunt you. Yeah, because they're just going to sit and look. Everyone talks about how they sold Declan Rice, and they're like a shadow of the team they used to be. Well, they sold Declan Rice, but they've still got like, Edson Alvarez now, and James Ward-Prowse, and everything else was the same. Players that have played together for a long time under Moisey, and they know exactly what they're doing. Essentially the opposite of what we're doing at the moment. Chelsea's failure to capitalise when they're on top of games has been a problem for some time, and particularly last season, of course. They set a club record low of 38 points from 38 games. No, goals, sorry, not points. Jesus Christ. Although we didn't get many more points. 38 points. I mean, I've got such harrowing PTSD from last season. It might as well have been 38 points, and we just somehow avoided relegation. The 38 goals. That is 38 goals. I feel sorry for you, man. I mean, the vast majority of people watching my content are Chelsea fans. Of course, you're all welcome. But you Chelsea fans, I feel sorry for you. 38 goals. 38 goals. It's just terrible. The lack of efficiency in front of goal has persisted. More than that, Diego Costa remains the last Chelsea player to score 20 goals in the Premier League season, and that was when we won the title in 2017. Asked if he had noticed a lack of self-belief in front of goal from his players since starting in the job, Pochettino says this, quote, "No, I do not believe this. This is a new team with new players. The players are not feeling what happened in the last few years." He's got to say this though, isn't he? Even if it's just like hopeful, like, no. What happened then? We're leaving back there. We are not bringing that with us. That can stay there. I don't see it. No, it's not happening. La 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 la. Fingers it is. The players are not feeling what happened in the last few years. It's about to believe. You got to believe, man. Don't stop believing. To perform. A player like Nicholas Jackson for sure is going to score because he has amazing quality. I do not believe what happened has happened because of last season. And yes, the Nico Jackson situation. Do I keep him in my fantasy football team? We're playing Luton next, but comment down below. There was a second part of the question which raised the idea of turning into the transfer market again for another forward. Whether he did not forget to choose not to answer. Pochettino did not clarify that situation. Yeah, maybe he just doesn't fancy it. I mean, Fabrizio Romano is saying Chelsea are in for another striker, forward, creative forward. Interestingly, fleetingly on that as well, Ryan Cherky looks like we're not interested in him anymore. Bradley Barcola is PSG are trying to buy him, and Kudus, Chelsea have kind of walked away from as well, a little bit like Ryan Cherky. Mohamed Kudus. Chelsea, I mean, it looks like he was going to Brighton. I don't know what's happening with that. But apparently we haven't spoken to him in like 20 days, which is interesting. So we've really gone cold on him. And if we haven't spoken to him in 20 days, lose 3-1 to West Ham, and then speak to him, it just reeks of desperation from everywhere, really, doesn't it? It feels like a broken record to suggest Chelsea have struggled to replace Costa, who of course left for Atletico Madrid 6 years ago. Wow. As Pochettino rightly highlighted, Jackson provides cause for optimism. The Senegal international has shown a lot of promise since joining from Villarreal for just over basically 30 million quid in July. Yet for the second successive Sunday, he gave opportunity defenders a difficult time. But at the end of the fixture, I mean, do you want to know what an opportunity defender is? Axel Disasi. of course, he had no goals to show for it, Nico Jackson. The TV cameras picked out co-sporting directors Stuart and Winstanley sitting behind Iqbali, like I said earlier, looking particularly glum in the second half. Yeah, same. West Ham played nearly 30 minutes, including stoppage time, with 10 men after Aguerd was shown a second yellow, but Chelsea ran out of ideas and incredibly posed less of a threat. It's just, but the thing is as well, that scenario, like, you've got a goal lead at home, you're down to 10 men, you like playing defensive football anyway, you like digging in, the crowd's behind you. That's just, this current iteration of West Ham, especially helmed by David Moyes, they love that. And then Chelsea throw on loads of attackers. We don't occupy the appropriate spaces to defend transitions. They run down the other end, and Moises Caicedo concedes a penalty. That's just the script. That's the script there, and we played our part magnificently. With the transfer window closing on September the 1st, ruddy heck, is it 10 days? There's still time for the checkbook to be used again. Oh, it just makes it's starting to make me queasy. Like the talk about spending again, it's making me queasy. Chelsea have been looking at signing another attacking player anyway, but we've not tried to sign a number 9 as such. A move for Crystal Palace Elise broke down. Of course, we're looking at Brendan Johnson from Nottingham Forest, which I'm not overly excited about. Those outside Chelsea will question why Pochettino does not reconsider, I can't believe I've got to say this, reconsider making Romelu Lukaku part of his plans. The club's highest earner on £340,000 a week. That's probably why they don't want to pay him that money. Bought from Inter Milan for a club record of £97.5 million. He's currently training at Cobham and he's attempting to find a move elsewhere. The options and time to do that are running out, but Pochettino made it clear on the eve of the West Ham game that Belgium international was not in his or the club's thinking, and the forward has no interest in playing for Chelsea. Yeah, that's kind of good, I guess. Pleasing to hear. Anyone who saw Lukaku play for Chelsea in 21-22 will not think he's the answer to the problems anyway. Yeah. We're going to have possession. We're going to play around the box. Yeah, we need a striker like Nico Jackson, really. Pochettino has declared qualifying for the Champions League this season in the minimum requirement. Oh, God, why are we saying stuff like that? A lack of a prolific centre-forward is I mean, look, how are we going to qualify for the Champions League? Man City, Arsenal, let's just put those... Let's forget about United and Tottenham, even though Tottenham got a good win against United. Let's just think about this. So, Arsenal and Man City are getting top 4, I think, right? And then, I mean, you could even discount Liverpool. I just can't see how we're better than Brighton and Newcastle are light years ahead of us. So let's see them as well. That's 3. Villa, Brighton, other clubs, they're just all light years ahead of us at the moment. I know we don't have Europe. We don't have Europe. Some of these clubs like Brighton have Europe. Maybe they'll slow down. So a lack of a prolific centre-forward is a relatively new experience for him. Of course, he's worked with the very best Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe. The former Tottenham and Paris Saint-Germain coach will get back to work on the training ground this week. How is he going to do it, ladies and gentlemen? It's important to note, I watched the post-match press conference from Mauricio Pochettino, and he was just like, nah, we're fine. And he also said, what did he say? He said, look, if we won these first 2 games, but in a blaggy way, and although he didn't say it, I think a really good example would be Manchester United against Wolves, because they were terrible and they somehow won that game. This is, obviously the other way around, he'd be like, I'd rather take the points and we work on the performances in the meantime. You obviously got to be the optimist, but he did come out with I'd rather play like this, see that the players are adopting what I want to do. I'm obviously paraphrasing here, but he was trying to assert that he's seeing what he wants from the Chelsea players, and he's, he come out with the data and stuff. He's more pleased with that because he feels like they're moving in the right direction in the greater scheme of things. Now, yes, I am willing to accept that, and I am also willing to accept how generally, as far as reports go, the mood is good in the Chelsea camp. Good. All right, I'll take that. If everyone's happy in the Chelsea camp and the mood is good, then keep on going. But we are being tested, man. If it's not like the Reece James injury, the Nkunku injury, it's now the Carney Chukwuemeka. It's a really worrying second performance from Axel Disasi. I'm not going to write him off or anything, of course, that'd be silly, but there was worrying performance there. But there are bright sparks, and the bright sparks are the injured players, the three aforementioned injured players, Chukwuemeka and Nkunku and Reece James, are all very good, and they're going to return. There is raw talent in Misha Mudryk. I saw people on my social media, at Football Yannick, by the way, whinging that Sterling starts and saying Mudryk needs to start the next game. I think Sterling was probably our best attacker, and when Mudryk came on, he didn't really do much. Now, I'm not going to have a go at Mudryk because he's clearly very good, and it's unfair to throw him on at these random times. In fact, why not start him against Luton on Friday in 5 days' time? That's wild. Start him on the left, start Sterling on the right, keep Sterling. He's played well. Get Mudryk on there, combining with Chile. Play a 4-2-3-1. Play a 4-2. You want to talk about solutions? Especially like goal-scoring solutions. 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1. Yeah, an extra attacker on there. I know it was kind of like a weird hybrid of Chile. Maybe play Maatsen as well. We haven't seen Maatsen. I think he was like the only player to play like every game in preseason, but then it comes to the actual campaign, he's nowhere to be seen. But look, if you play a 4-2-3-1, have the players there, like maybe play Maatsen in the 10, I don't know, or like just get him on there. Start. I think the big thing here is start Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez next to each other and just say, look, start from the beginning, boys. Don't throw on your record signing Caicedo when you're losing. I mean, again, I'm not one to criticize Pochettino because I'm not a football manager. But when you're losing a game and you throw on your world record fee central defensive midfielder in a away hostile London derby atmosphere, is that the way to go? I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it's like, look, you can't do any wrong here, mate. So just go on. Oh, you have done wrong. You conceded a penalty. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough. Let me know what you think. I don't think it's all doom and gloom, but it's growing pains, isn't it? That's what people are saying this morning. Saying on The Athletic, teething problems, growing pains, early doors for Pochettino, lots of work to do. Comment down below. I'll be very interested to learn your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the situation. We probably will do more transfer business, so keep it locked here to keep up with that. And I'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Peace.